Hey everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Kylie and I'm having a bad day. So I decided I want to think about what is coming next, what's in the future, because today is literally shitty. So let's talk about my November TBR. I am going to have a massive November TBR. I decided that I'm going to do graphic novels, mangas, and middle grade mostly. I'm going to participate in Believathon and Indigathon. And what I'm looking to do in November is boost up my Goodreads for like the challenge that I have. In the summer, I originally had my challenge set to like maybe 100 books or 104 books, something like that. But I hit like 85 books in July or August. And I thought, oh no, I'm going to hit the 100 like way before the end of the year. So I bumped it up to like 140. Now, I don't think we're actually going to hit 140, but we can try. So I'm going to first talk about my Indigathon reads that I'm going to try. Most of them are going to have to be audiobook because I've filled up my physical TBR with mangas, graphic novels, and middle grades. But I have a few titles that overlap. So Indigathon is a month-long read-a-thon taking place in November. It's because November is also Native Heritage Month in the US, maybe everywhere, I'm not sure. And there are two hosts, Michelle, and you can find her at Thor Wants Letter on Twitter, and she also has a YouTube channel, and I will post it down below. And the other host is Brody. You can find them at E2Brody on Twitter, and they also have a Twitter channel as well. And they are both Indigenous creators on BookTube. The Indigathon has a bingo board with 25 challenges. So this video was already going to be long because I have a large list of books that I'm going to try to get through in November. So I'm not going to go through all the individual prompts because that's just so many. They do have a group book called The Break by Katharina Vermette. And I haven't looked it up yet, but if I can access it on audiobook somewhere, I will try to read it. But the books that I have chosen for Indigathon are There by Tommy Orange, which is supposed to be a multi-generational story that follows 12 different people as they are traveling to, and then they come together at a powwow. And it's supposed to be really, really moving. Also, Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse. This takes place in a dystopian world after a climate apocalypse. And apparently there are gods and monsters and heroes walking among us. And so we follow Maggie, who is a monster hunter, and she is tasked with trying to find a missing child. Yes, I believe that is the premise. Also, Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This is a fairy tale-like story inspired by Mexican folklore. We follow Cassiopeia, who accidentally frees the spirit of the Mayan death god, and he needs her help to regain his throne from his brother. Next, I am going to read Dear Woman by Elizabeth Lepense, which is a comic anthology done completely by Indigenous women. And I checked in my library, not my library, but like within the province has it available, so I've put it on hold. So I will get that one for sure. Then I have a middle grade called Walk Two Moons. Sorry. By Sharon Creech. And this is Brody's one of their favorite childhood stories. And it's about a daughter wishing to be reunited. Then I want to get to #Not Your Princess by Lisa Charlie Boy, which is a nonfiction essay collection done completely by Indigenous women, with lots of different themes of then we have a couple more middle grades rounding this out. One is called Son of a Trickster by Eden Robinson. And in this one, the main character is a 16-year-old demigod. And there are lots of themes of substance abuse. And then I have The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan, which supposedly features a badass Cherokee main character. And so from the blurb on the back, I don't think, like, I'm not sure which of the three, Jason, Piper, or Leo, is Cherokee, but I'm excited to find out. And yeah, so those are the reads that I'm going to focus on for Indigathon. And I'm also participating in Believathon. Believathon is Believe in the Impossible middle grade readathon hosted by Gavin Hetherington, and that is the name of his YouTube channel. You can find him on Twitter at thegavgav7. The readathon has its own Twitter at Believathon and a #Believathon. Sorry, I should say Indigathon also has its own Twitter at Indigathon. So Believathon has 10 prompts plus a group book. So read a book featuring magic, read a book with myths and legends, read a book featuring real world issues, read a book set in the past, read a book with a strong sense of friendship, read a creepy or atmospheric book, read a seasonal book, read a book featuring an animal character, read a children's classic, and reread your personal favorite children's book. The group book for this is called Frostheart by Jamie Littler, and I put it on hold at my library, but I think the problem is that the book is so new that the library doesn't actually have it in stock yet. Like, when I look it up, it says, like, on order, so I think that's what that means, that, like, the book is very, very new. So I'm gonna try to get it, but I'm not sure. I haven't paid attention to which prompts are covered by which of these books that I'm going to tell you about, but I don't really think Gavin cares if I actually do the prompts as long as I'm reading middle grade. So this is not an exclusive list of what I'm going to be reading. There were 3 that I listed for Indigathon there that are middle grade. And there are also other ones that that I still have on hold at my library that I'm waiting to see if I'm actually going to get a hold of during November or not. So, but this is what I have right now. And so I'll go over those with you. So I have Esperanza Rising by Pam Munoz-Ryan. This one, Esperanza, her family experiences a tragedy, and her mother have to flee to California. And then after all that, her mom gets sick. And so, yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be really good because it's won a lot of awards. I know that's not always everything, but when middle grade wins awards, I like to pay attention to that. So there's that one. Secrets Are for Flowers by R.K. Gold. This is the second in a series, and in this one of our main characters is being tormented by nightmares, and everyone's trying to adjust to all the changes that are happening since they kind of defeated the bad guy at the end of book 1. So we'll be finding out what happens there. This is A Boy Called Christmas by Matt Haig. And Nicholas has to travel to the North Pole to save his father. And while he's there, the elves need him to help boost Christmas spirit and goodwill. And so he hopefully can do both at the same time. And this looks super cute, and I love Christmas, and so I'm looking forward to that. Steph Soto, Taco Queen by Jennifer Torres. This is about a girl, Estefania, who her family owns a taco truck. And I think when I read the blurb that something happens with zoning or something that puts the business in jeopardy. So kind of before that happens, she's very kind of tired of it, tired of being known as the Taco Queen. But then when, your family's livelihood becomes in jeopardy, I think we're probably going to see her fight for the taco stand. The Breadwinner by Deborah Ellis. This, I'm pretty sure this has been made into a movie. And I think this might be considered a children's classic. This is about Parvana, who's 11 years old, and she lives in Afghanistan. And her father is taken, and then her family is suffering because nobody's earning any money. And so she is forced to dress up like a boy in order to become the breadwinner for her family. And so, yeah, that's what that one's about. Willa of the Wood by Robert Beatty. This is about Willa, who's some sort of a little fairy, and I believe she is stealing things like little knickknacks and things that people won't notice that are missing. But then there's is there a curse? There's some sort of a curse, I believe, that she has to help break or something like that. Yeah, and it looks super cute, and I'm going to buddy read this one with my friend Sarah. And the last one that I have here right now is called The Land of Yesterday by K.A. Reynolds. This, among a couple of other ones that were there, were read by Rachel Marie in her recent video, 7 Middle Grades in 7 Days. And this one really made her cry. And when I read the blurb today, preparing for this video, yeah, it sounds very, very sad. The main character is Cecilia, and her brother passes away, and his soul goes to the land of yesterday. And so she's left behind in the world without him, but it says that her mother follows him into the land of yesterday, which makes me think, yeah, I mean, sorry, So her mother follows him into the land of yesterday, and it talks about her, Cecilia, having to travel into the land of yesterday in order to reunite her whole family and bring everyone back together. It sounds really sad and really heavy. So I'm kind of scared to read it because I cry easily as it is. Those are all the ones that I have with me. But just quickly, some of the ones on my list that I haven't gotten yet. The group book, which I talked about already. Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. This is number 2 in, I'm not sure what the series is called, Cassidy Blake, I think, something like that. The first book was about this little girl who she can see ghosts, and she has like her best friend is a ghost and she met him when she had like a near-death experience as a child, and her parents move her to Edinburgh where they are making a show about ghosts and ghost hunting, and so like that's what they do for a career, but she actually sees ghosts and they don't know that, and so yeah, there's a story there. And so this one is going to be the sequel, and I tried to get it, but yeah, it's on hold, but I think there's like some problem where like my library can't actually find the book, because it says that my library has it, and I was there tonight and I looked for it and the librarian looked for it and we couldn't find it. So but hopefully someone finds it. Then I have another one called The First Rule of Punk, and I saw that one was in transit, so I'll definitely be getting that one. And one that I might have to wait for that I might not get in time is called Song for a Whale. And yeah, so that is my list of middle grade. It is large, but I mean, when you compare, what can we see back there? Order of the Phoenix is probably like the same as like 3 of these middle grades. So, you know, when you compare to what I normally read, like massive, like 500-page chunkers, hopefully I can get through some of these, all of these, and more. So I'm going to be splitting up the middle grades with graphic novels and comics and mangas. So I've mostly taken all the popular ones that everyone talks about and I've tried to get those first, and then I put a tweet asking for people to recommend me stuff, and I requested a lot of that from the library too. So I only have 6 different ones here with me today, but I have requested like 12 or 13 of them. So we'll see what comes in when. But the first one I have is Orange by Ichigo Takano. And this is a manga, and I believe in this one, someone in the future has written a letter to themselves in the past because their friend, not their friend yet, but a kid in the school ends up committing suicide in the future, and so obviously the person in the future is trying to take steps to prevent that, which is a little bit problematic, but we'll see how it goes, I guess. A lot of people really love this, so I'm gonna check it out. Okay, I did not read the back of this one. Death Note. I don't think this is only volume 1, because it's pretty thick. So it might have 2 or 3 volumes in it, but it's book 1 for sure. Last one looks like it's gonna play on like themes of like what's right and what's wrong. There is a notebook called The Death Note, and anyone whose name is written in the notebook dies. And so you have people who are inherently good that figure they're going to use this book to get rid of all the evil in the world. But then how many people have to die for that to happen, and is that the right thing to do? So, yes. Then we have Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Wires and Nerves. And I'm not sure who we're following in this, or what the storyline is, but this is happening after the Lunar Chronicles. I'm pretty sure it's like continuing on, but like I'm not 100% sure, but it's in the world of the Lunar Chronicles, which I just finished last month and I really love. So I grabbed, my library had copies that were available of both volumes, and so why not? Why not? Okay. These ones were not as popular, so they're available, but like these were part of ones that were recommended to me by other people. This one's called Heart in a Box by Kelly Thompson and Meredith McLaren. Oh, it says in the back, in a moment of desperation, Emma wishes her broken heart away, and a mysterious stranger, who may or may not be totally evil, obliges. But emptiness is even worse than grief. And Emma sets out to collect the 7 pieces of her heart, now spread across the country. Ooh. This sounds like a rough one. It's very short, but I'm not sure, it might be a series. Like this might just be volume 1, but yes, that one. And then this one is called Fables by Bill Willingham. And it says, imagine that all the characters from the world's most beloved storybooks were real and living among us, with all their powers intact. How would they cope with life in our mundane, unmagical reality? And that sounds really fun. I love fairy tales and I love retellings, and like, yeah, this sounds super fun. It kind of reminds me of like Once Upon a Time, that TV show, you know? Okay, so those are the ones I have with me, but on my list, ones that I'm waiting for on hold are Mooncakes, Saga, Heartstopper, Grimoire Noir, The 100 Nights of a Hero, Our Dreams at Dusk, and Your Name. And so hopefully I'll be able to get to all of these. I don't know if I'm going to really have a strategy other than I think I'm going to read a middle grade and then read a comic, and then, or manga, graphic novel, whatever. And then another middle grade, and then a comic. Because the comics, like, probably most of them, Orange is pretty thick, but most of them I can probably just read, like, in a couple hours. Or even 1 hour, maybe. So yeah, so that is my November TBR. Wish me luck. Feel free to join me. Yeah, let me know what I should prioritize, because I don't know that I'm going to get through all of this. It's a lot of books. But yeah, okay, so like and subscribe to see more from me, and talk to you later. Bye.